So now you become the parent who says, you soft. You soft, stop being soft. And now you're just hitting on him and screaming on him because he's not as hard as you particularly want him to be. So you don't even realize now you are physically, emotionally, and mentally trying to abuse him into your vision. That's why some of your marriages are hurting right there. Because you really think you can abuse them into the model that you want them to be. So if I fuss at you hard enough and scream at you long enough, your will be broken and you will be molded. Ain't no ouches in here today, is it? So we have abusive parents or absent parents. Now the second type of category with family, let's talk siblings. Ouch, ouch, I see you, ouch. Siblings. Now we either have sibling rivalries or sibling jealousy. Sibling rivalries or sibling jealousy. See, this is for those of you who you love them and they love you, but it just always feel like y'all in competition. You know what I'm talking about, that if you say you got something, all of a sudden now they got to do it. Or if you cut your hair, now they got to cut their hair. Or if you get an award, they got to bring up 2 more awards. Or denounce some of the stuff you do. So we got abusive or absent parents that cause pain. Now we have these sibling rivalries, or i.e. when you have mixed families, blended family. I have a blended family. My oldest son who lives with me is not my lady, so I have a blended family. So what happens, Pastor Mike, we went through a moment when Xander came to live with us in probably the 3rd grade. We went through a little battle now to where Mike was the oldest, but now Xander here. So there was this fight happening in my house over who was in charge. You got me? So I would pay attention sometimes that Xander would feel a certain way when I was doing something with Michael. Then Michael would feel a certain way when I was doing something with Xander. So when I would praise Michael's grades, Xander would say, but Dad, did you see my touchdown? So then I would run over there and say, well, Xander, I saw your touchdown. Then Michael would say, Dad, did you see my grades? So I had to figure out how to kill it before they killed each other. Oh, y'all don't want to talk real. Y'all just want to play church. No, so many of you remember this. You may remember when I stood before the church probably 5 years ago and said, hey, for the rest of this year, I won't be doing any Bible studies. I'm finna coach football. Remember that? Because I sat down with my oldest and said, okay, so what's the problem? He said, I don't feel like we have anything that's ours. I said, whoa. I said, well, what you want to do? He said, I like flag football. I said, I'll tell you what, I will leave church, come coach football. That might have been single-handedly the best move I've ever made in parenting. Didn't know what I was doing for the most part. I was figuring it out. Now we won two national championships. Let's don't get it twisted now. Don't get it twisted. Don't make me put my stats on the screen. No, but hear me, but we developed this bond that was crazy. Then I looked up and realized I had football with Xander and Mason. Mike didn't play any sports. So then when I would get a call to like Universal Circus, I would look at Mike and say, Mike, Daddy's not going. Go accept the award for me. So Michael would go accept the award, and I would try to find, he likes Beyblades. So, and some of my parents, I had to buy V-Bucks. Jesus Christ. Who account be negative with V-Bucks right here? Or whatever them points is you get from NBA 2K so they can buy clothes and stuff like that. So I had to start, so I had to get into what he was in. Why, Pastor Mike? Because I discovered, yes, there's a such thing as a sibling rivalry, but there's also something called sibling jealousy. And based off of how you nurture it, the two can combine. Y'all don't want to talk real tonight. Y'all don't want to talk real today, do you? So do me a favor. Answer this question for me in the comments and in the room right now. The first murder happened between who? Siblings. Which would that be considered? Murder took place because there was a sibling rivalry that became a sibling jealousy. Can I ask you a question? What are you killing in your family? Because you won't get over your jealousy and your rivalry. Because what we're not going to do is play victim and make it seem like everything is always to us. They jealous of me. They competing with me. No, some of the stuff that happens to us, we invite by. Put this in your notes. Put this in your notes. microaggression. Microaggression. So what's microaggression? It is when you start making these little body language and these little moves you do that may not be magnified, but they have undercurrents. Undercurrents. So family, somebody say genetic pain. Absent or abusive parents. Siblings that are rivals or jealous of each other. Let's deal with children. Yeah. Under children, let's put two things. You ready? Rebellious child or deceptive child. Jesus. You want to know one of the pains? This may be the most powerful series we ever do in the last 3 to 5 years I'm in this. You want to know something that's very, very, very powerful? I don't want to say powerful. Something that's very hard to grasp. When you love them, but the pain they cause you just hurts so bad. Jesus. So what do we have? We have the rebellious child, or do we have the deceptive child? Now here's what I really want to happen in the midst of this series. I want you to see yourself, not just see what's happened to you. So all my parents, give me a what? Have you been an absent, either physically absent or not fully present? Or have you been somewhat of an abusive parent? That's real. If you really want to take this sermon to the next level, go home and ask your children. Do we want to get better, or do we just want to play church? Which one? Which one? Real talk. So do me a favor. Do me a favor. When you get home, just sit down and say, do me a favor. Do you feel like mama? Do you feel like daddy? Is a good mama, good daddy? Yeah. You know something? My son said something to me about 2 days ago. He says, it's like you always got a problem. That's Michael's voice. He's walking out. I said, what are you doing? He's, well, it's like you always got a problem. It's like every time I come in here, you're looking at me. I'm trying to figure out, one, I let you grow your hair, at least sponge it. It just looked like it's just matted on this side, twisted in the middle. Like, do something that, son, did you wash your face? Son, did you sponge your hair? Son, did you brush your teeth? Son, I know you like that shirt, but we clearly can see that shirt don't fit no more. Who got some boys, you know what I'm talking about? How many days you gonna wear them socks? Mike, go get your clothes. But it hit me. Hear me. Everything I was saying to him was meant to raise his self-awareness. But I cannot be in control of how he perceives it. So watch this. I'm just trying to help him. Sometimes help feels like abuse. So what did I have to do? I had to learn a different way to communicate. Okay, do me a favor. Do me a favor. If she was deaf and you were talking to her and she didn't respond and you got mad, who's the fool? In order for you to properly communicate with her, you have to learn what? A different way to communicate. So I can't look at her and say stop. I gotta look at her and say. Many of the pains in our families can be fixed if we learned how to, I want to say this better, how they needed to be communicated to. Am I doing all right so far? So then we have sibling rivalries or sibling jealousy. Sibling rivalry, one thing I can honestly say from the depths of my heart, my brother sitting right there, I don't think we ever at any point in our life ever been jealous of each other. Ever in our life. I don't think ever in competition. I mean it from the depths of my heart. He's a senior in high school. I dropped out of college. I'm gonna show you how crazy of a big brother I was. I dropped out of college. He's the number 1, number 2, number 3 recruit in the state of Alabama in football. Auburn want him, Florida State want him, everybody want my brother. He's entering to his senior season. He got a 6-pack, he killing it. I come home from school, see my brother, go back to school, withdraw. come back home, and for the whole season, ask me what I did. Follow him with a camera. D would wake up and I would be standing there. He just woke up. This is the Rivals 3-star cornerback, Darius McClure. What are you gonna eat for breakfast? I don't know. He doesn't know. Conversely, here it is now, God's doing all this, and I can say, hey, I need you to come home. How do you work through that? Do you feel that? And it's a lot of egos right there. I'm big brother, that's little brother, but then he's a man, I'm a man. We have to have more. We got into it about 2 days ago. About 2 days ago, he told me, I don't think we should do it. Man, keep that to yourself. Hey, you're not gonna tell me to keep nothing to myself. At the end of the day, I'm a man. At the end of the day, nobody's gonna tell me to keep nothing to myself. Look, Deanna. Watch this. We could be beefing now. What did I say a week ago, 2 weeks ago? But I can't allow pain to kill what communication could have healed. Did you catch that? All right, so number 3, a rebellious child or a deceptive child. All right, I like preaching from experience so that way you can feel better. That's for all y'all who were sneaking around as a child. Oh, deceptive self. And got the nerve to be mad at your child because they taking what you did to another level. Somebody ought to just shout, ouch, 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 ouch. I never forget. I'm always preach from my pains. When we deal with heavy topics, I will always show you my flaws. Is that cool? I go check Mason's phone this morning, and every night I'm one of them daddies that at any moment, give me the phone. This is my phone. And you know, we sneak, I'm checking search history, everything. I'm checking your private internet thing. Now you can press the button at the bottom. I'm checking everything. Text messages, pictures, everything. I get Mason's phone, I picked that boy up, he done changed his password. And my head, he out there. Ain't no telling what's on the phone at this point. Mason out there, ain't no telling. And come to find out, I lose. Hey, get in here. Open the phone. I'm like the buddy on Friday. No lock phones, no lock phones. You know what he said? Dad, Miles keep getting my phone, downloading stuff. Then he showed me Miles would get his phone and download 75 different Minecrafts, YouTubes, Mickey Mouses. I said, okay, I said, just tell me. I almost allowed my deceptive ways. Our parents and our grandparents' pain can unintentionally become ours, and here's the hard part. You ready for this? Few of us never make the link between our dysfunctional behaviors and issues to what happened to our family members in previous generations. We never connect the dots. We never realize the dysfunction that we now live in is a generational pattern of dysfunction. Did you catch what I just said? So hear me when I say this. Even when parents are mindful of their past trauma, there's a lot of genetic pain that's passed on anyway. Here's why, PMJ. I need you to put this in your notes. Awareness does not always lead to adjustments. Awareness does not always lead to adjustments. Just because you're aware of it does not mean that you properly adjusted to it. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna free somebody. I want to free somebody. I like telling stories. I'm a storyteller. Who's ever had one of those showers that no matter if you got in right when you're supposed to or later, you only had a certain amount of hot. So don't nobody want to put your business in the street. So everybody got maximum water pressure in this church, huh? Now, so who know what I'm talking about? Like if you didn't get in them first 7 to 10 minutes, that water would do what? Would just get cold. I don't know where that water would just get cold. Here's what's crazy. You knew it. You were aware of it. But you would still be in it. And when that water shifted, you were what? Because you was aware, but that does not mean you adjusted. Now you want to know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? You could have increased the hot water tank, or you could have had somebody come over and adjust it. All you knew is it didn't work. You never made the adjustment to fix it. I never forget the summer my AC went out in my truck, and I never forget it. We just rode around that whole summer with the windows down. We had got so adjusted to the windows being down that I promise you from the depths of my heart, it stopped being hot. Who know what I'm talking? Like it's like all of a sudden you blocked it out. It's like you would let the window down. When you got on the freeway, it would be boom, then you would roll up just a little bit. You know, when you got in the neighborhood, and we had kind of caught a rhythm. We didn't have the money to fix the AC. Watch this. So we made something that should have been fixed a part of our daily routine. I want to ask a question. And you don't have to say amen or ouch. You don't even have to answer me. Who right now can identify some things in your family that's running through your family, and yet you still possibly haven't adjusted to it? You aware of it, but in your hearts, watch this, arrogance makes you think it can't happen to you. Jesus. Why PMJ? Put this in your notes. Because discovering what runs in your family is not about blaming the family. It's more so about building the future. Yeah. So I knew I had a lot of alcoholics in my family on my dad's side. I knew that. My granddaddy loved alcohol, great-granddaddy, them, everybody. I knew that. All right, so I don't live now saying, see, that's why. No. You know what I do? I build from it. I'm going to try to be a man who doesn't succumb to that. I'm going to try to instill in my boys and my daughter don't succumb to that. Why PMJ? Watch this. The immature blame, the mature builds. I'm preaching better than you receiving. The immature blames, the mature builds. Mason loves Legos. Mike loved Legos when they were growing up. Miles walks in. He loved playing with the Legos, but he didn't understand how sensitive they were. So he thought if he picked up the little Lego helicopter and he just flew it, he didn't realize how sensitive you have to treat those Legos. He picks up the little Lego car falls completely apart. Miles starts screaming and says, I don't want to play with it no more, it's broken. Michael walks in and says, leave it alone, and rebuilds it. One only wanted to benefit from the finished product. Two didn't become too frustrated when it was broken because he was a builder. You have 3 years to decide if you're going to still blame them or build from them. I'm preaching whether you like it or not. I need somebody to shout build. If there wasn't a millionaire in your family, build and you become the first one. I don't know who I'm preaching to, but I don't have to blame my family for what I'm not. I can become the generational trendsetter and say it starts with me. I need 100 folk that just shout or type, it starts with me. Wholeness starts with me. Multiple degrees gonna start with me. Owning homes and having Airbnbs gonna start with me. I don't know what my family used to be about, but because of me, we are building something special. Somebody shall build. So hear me when I say this, and this is critical. Hear me. We cannot, are you taking good notes? We cannot recover from pain that we don't know is running in us. You got to become aware. We cannot recover from pain that we don't know is running in us. I want to pause and parenthetically digress, because some of us keep highlighting generational pain and wearing it as a badge of honor. We look at our little boys, D, and we say stuff like this: you're gonna be a little lady killer just like your daddy. So you really just spoke womanizing over that baby. Death and life. What are you speaking into existence? Jesus Christ, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Hear me when I say this, and I pray you can receive it. We cannot recover from pain that we don't know is running in us. I want to give you some homework if you're healthy enough to handle it. Now, I really want you to hear what your pastor's saying. I want to give you some homework if you're healthy enough to handle it. Now, don't go asking questions in your family that you can't handle. No. So hear me when I say this. I want to give you some homework if you're healthy enough to handle it, okay? What's running in me? Old school men, us young school men, we don't say stuff that our granddaddies used to say. That's my blood running through you. Remember they say stuff, that's my blood running through you. Well, can I ask you a question? What came with the blood? What came with the blood? Huh? I'm very aware that alcoholism was in my family, so you know what? I don't play with it. Womanizing was in my family. I'm trying not to play with it. Cussing was in my family. I got good cussers in my family. Or arrogance, like on my mother's side, they were like the family during the civil rights movement. Now come on, Dr. King would come, he would ask for my granddaddy, my great uncle. There's statues of them all over the city. You go to the Civil Rights Museum, Abraham Woods Comfort, that's my great uncle. You go downtown, there's plaques about my granddaddy, Abraham Woods Jr. Boulevard, that's my great uncle. You know, when it comes to civil rights, so growing up, I personally sometimes never felt good enough for the family. Did you feel me? It was just this air on. You know, so if I'm not careful, that air runs in me. And some of y'all so busy hating them, you becoming them. Do me a favor, just type or look at somebody and say heal before you become it. You so busy hating them, I'ma never be like you, never be like, and becoming them. You keep telling the devil what to use against you. I ain't never gonna be like my daddy. Ain't ever be like my daddy. Won't nobody hurt me like him. So you become cold, so you never get hurt. And because you're cold, you now hurt people like they hurt you. That's one. I see two brothers. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. So hear me when I say this. If it runs in the family, then possibly it's chasing you. Everybody talks about what you chasing. I'm chasing the bag. I'm chasing the building. I'm chasing the career. I'm chasing marriage. I'm chasing money. Can I ask you a question? What's chasing you? Which is why I keep telling you to stay focused. You don't have time to keep making all these pit stops. It's something after you. You don't have time to keep stalling. It's something after you. This is why I'm looking at you saying you better stay focused, because it's some generational curses and some stuff in your bloodline that if you stop, it's going to catch you. I don't know who's going to hear this, but I don't have a powerful tongue for you. I don't have a powerful language for you. I got a very simple statement that if you catch it, it's going to flip your life. Run, Forrest, run. Forrest Gump is the model for how you should be running from your past. When they attacked Forrest, Forrest ran so much that nobody was even chasing him no more. But he realized if I stop, it might get me. I need somebody to just shout, I got to run. Because I refuse to allow the cycles of my past to catch up with me. I'm about to become what God called me to be. Somebody shout, run! Stop right. Run. Run, 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 run. Hear me. The children of Israel in bondage, right, baby girl? They in bondage, right? Children of Israel in bondage. And then Moses tells Pharaoh what? Let my people go. Moses tells Pharaoh what? Let my people go. Moses tells Pharaoh what? Let my people go. Why is that so special to me? Moses tells Pharaoh to let my people go. But what we never talk about is the fact that Moses is free. A free man walks into bondage and tells the king of bondage, let the people who are with me come out. God did not bless you for you to get arrogant and tell your family, y'all could have got it like me. God said, I'm trying to make you your Moses. And some of us about to get healed, set free, delivered, saved, and paid, so we can tell the devil, let my family go. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Don't shout for a house or a car. Shout for your family. Woo. Yes, Lord. Let my people go. Sit down, sit down. Before we have church, just sit down. Right. Jesus. I felt that thing right there. I felt that thing. Hear me. Stop. Sit down, because if we shout, we're going to miss the big point. Okay, everybody sit down. Okay. It's chasing you. Okay? All right. I'm going to put my business in the street. My dad was accused of having an outside child when we were kids. It wasn't his. I had a child. Did you see that? So I'm gonna put my business out there so you can see that if I get free enough, you'll start dealing with yours. So when I was a little kid, my dad, he testifies about this. There was a young lady, yada yada, thought he had a child. All right, fast forward, we don't break that in him. Come to me in my early 20s, I have a child. Can I ask you a question? So if it almost happened with my daddy, happened with me, I got 3 boys, 4, and a girl. What happens? Now I'm finna free you. All right, here's where it's finna get thick. Okay? For us to want another woman is considered what? It's lust in a sense. For me to want somebody prematurely, premarital, is what we could call lust. I'm lusting after you. Okay, so I want to free you real quickly. So when it was in my daddy, it was lust. When it was in me, it's lust. I can't assume in my kids it's going to be lust for the woman. I can't pick. See, y'all don't want to go here. Y'all don't want to go here. Y'all really want to see, because see, this is critical. Because the sins of the father start visiting generations. You can't determine how the sin is going to express itself. Oh my God, y'all don't even want to talk to me now. Y'all don't even want to talk to me now. Hear me when I say this. And this is why I had to deal with a parent and a daughter this past week. And I had to deal with them because the mother was broken, because the daughter kind of came out of the closet, and so and so. So I hate him in that statement, but the daughter did this, yada, 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 yada. And I said, Mom, I want to free you real quickly. I said, now I know your personal testimony. I said, so are you mad because she was promiscuous or who she's doing it with? Because I want to free you real quickly, because if you mad at the choice more than the root, you might be the problem. And what we got to realize is, watch this now, Psalms 32:5, I acknowledge my sin to you and my iniquity I have not hidden. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the iniquity of my sin. Now here's what's critical, and I need you to catch this now. Something's chasing you. Hear me? That's why every father in this room, this is why one of my biggest plights is absent fathers completely. No, I don't care if she hates you. I'm passing my shoe, won't let me go to court. Go to court. That's one thing you gotta fight for right there. No, she needs you. Hate me, what? No. She won't let me, the court will. But then she gonna put me on, all right, that's the cost it take. But you know what? I have to make sure I'm present. There is a noticeable difference when I'm home and when I'm gone. Hear me. I will call home and literally hear ladies screaming, y'all stop. From the cell phone, I will say, hey, and the whole house get quiet. Conversely, if Miles fall today, I could get there first He don't stop crying till his mama come. She brings something I can't replace. I bring something she can't replace. Now I can find different ways to supplement it, but I firmly believe each child needs their mother and their father. And both have to fight to be there the proper way. Why, Pastor Mike, I need you to catch this, because if pride runs in your family, then pride is chasing you. If jealousy runs in your family, jealousy is chasing you. If rebellion runs in your family, failed relationships run in your family, let's just stop being deep for a second. If everybody divorced, how are you blindly dating thinking you just gonna make it? No, what you gotta do now is become aware so you can make the adjustments. Am I helping anybody today? And I want to make this statement, you can put it in your notes. Just because it ran in my family does not mean it has to run through me. It does not mean it has to run through me. So hear me when I say this. No, it's being aware. It's being aware of what's in me. If you want to be the best father, you can be the best man, you can be the best spouse you can be. You got to be aware. You got to be aware. I have to be aware. Now, I read the scripture to you. We often focus on what we chase without ever dealing with what's chasing us. I told you our goal over each week is to identify and overcome 5 types of pain. Today we're talking about what? Genetic pain. It represents the pain we what? Inherit. Psalms 32 and 5. I acknowledge that I want you to take really good notes right here, okay? Really good notes, okay? I acknowledge that my sin, notice it's bold. Now, if I ever take the time to put something in bold, I really want you to look at it, okay? Like Leslie knows, I'll stay up all night just bolding stuff. Like, I need them to see this. So watch this. I acknowledge my sin to you and my iniquity. I will confess my transgressions. So 3 things I need you to write in your notes right here. You ready? My sin, my iniquity, my transgressions. Because the 3 aren't the same. And the problem with the old school church we grew up in, we only ever talked about sin. That's all we ever heard about, right? You sinning. Ooh, you sinning. Ooh, you sinning. Mikey, that's all we ever talked about was sin. Let me give you the definition of all 3. You ready? Sin is rebellion against God's word. Oh, it's up there. Great job, team. Sin is rebellion against God's word, God's will, God's way. Transgressions are when I miss the mark. Iniquity is when things are twisted up, bent, or leaning. Let's do it again. Sin is rebellion against God's word, will, and way. Transgressions are when I miss the mark. Iniquity is when there's a lean. All right, what Darius, shout it out loud. What does leaning mean? All right, in layman's terms, personality traits. There are these subtle things that's in our bloodline, our character, or our family that are lean. I ain't as stand up as I should. So here's what we do in church. We shout. Bishop William Murphy said it so eloquently. He said, God is a lean man in my direction. This is good. Terrell, come here, Terrell. You ready, Terrell? You need a blessing? Come here. You need a blessing? Stay right here. I got you. God is lean, man. Blessing. In my direction. Blessing. See, but when you give into your iniquities, you lean. So even if God leaning, so now you bitter, saying God don't ever come through. And God said, no, you leaning in the wrong direction. So sin is when I rebel. So I want to be very clear. I want to be very clear. And this is my personal theology. Somebody may argue with me, but this is my personal belief, okay? My personal belief, all right? Sin and transgressions are individual choices. Iniquity you inherit. So you choose to sin. You choose to have transgressions. The iniquity was handed down. Did you catch that? So go back a slide. I want them to really see these three again, okay? So watch this. I'm gonna free somebody. A lot of you have been feeling overwhelmed because of a mistake you made that might have been a transgression. Man, I slipped up. I missed the mark. See, a transgression is a moment. Sin becomes a cycle. I know I'm wrong. I'm gonna keep doing wrong. I'm gonna not stop the wrong. I now justify the wrong. A transgression is when I shoot a 3 and miss. I just missed the mark. I can bounce back. Now, grace is sufficient for all 3, but I think we have to properly understand the difference. See, next slide. Sin and transgressions are your choices. You chose to lay down. You chose to lie. You chose to act a fool. You chose it. Now some of this other stuff that was in granddaddy, grandmama, mama, uncles, aunties, it landed on you. You didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on you. So let's talk about this, all right? Am I doing okay? Can I borrow 20 minutes and keep going? In other words, watch this, it runs in the family. When we encounter David and his three of his children, we begin to learn how to recognize what's running in our family. 3, watch this now, 3 symptoms of mismanaged genetic pain. Woo. I want to give you 3 symptoms of mismanaged genetic pain. You ready for this? Number 1, we don't talk. Hallelujah. 2 Samuel 13 and 20. Her brother Absalom said to her, "Has that Amnon your brother been with you? Be quiet for now, my sister. He is your brother." Look at this family mess. Don't take this thing to heart. And Tamar lived in her brother Absalom's house, a desolate woman. Her brother sleep with her. The other brother, I don't want to say sleep, rapes her. So the brother rapes her, the other brother acts, and because they don't want no family drama, the brother says, just be quiet about it. That's your brother. And she became a desolate woman. Watch this now. Absalom finds out that Amnon has raped his sister Tamar. He immediately tells her to keep quiet, and the text says she lived as a desolate woman. Watch this. She brought her pain to the wrong person. I want to give you something. Put this in your notes, please. Talking to the wrong people will empty you out, but the right people will fill you up. See, baby girl, I don't just need to talk about it. I need to be restored.
That's good.
That's why oh God, hear me when I say this. If you always live at a point where you just want to be heard, you're unhealthy. See, at some point, I got to talk back. I just can't always hear you. Now you feel better. Because it's like you just took a good... Now, who's ever had one of them where you just had to get home, and when you got home, and as soon as you come out the restaurant, what you say? Whoo, whoo, Lord have mercy. Jesus, I'm good now. What are we finna do? I'm good now. I'm good now. That's how many of y'all emote. You don't care who you talk to. You on the phone, just let that out to any and everybody, and once you get it out your system, you're like, whew. And I want to free you. 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 Talking to the wrong people will empty you out, but that's all you ever be. It's empty. All you ever be is empty. All you ever be is empty. What he subconsciously tells her is, please put this in your notes, proximity should excuse pain. That's crazy. Proximity should excuse pain. That's what he's basically saying. Hey, he close, just let that ride. Wow. Does this not sound like some of our lives? Here's the problem. If you stay silent, you stay stuck. So what does that mean, Pastor Mike? This is the most important part of what I'm going to say right here. You ready? Many of us can't move on because we haven't spoken to someone who can handle, help, and heal what's hurting. Do I need to say that again? Many of us can't move on because we have not spoken to someone who can handle, help, and heal what's hurting. Make that make sense, PMJ? I just don't need you to hear me. I need you to handle, help, heal. Now, let me make it very plain. That is hard. That's hard. That requires a level of vulnerability from me that has been crushed before. So what do we do? This is crazy. So what do we do? So we pigeon feed who we need to talk to. So the first time we talk, we give them a little to kind of see if it's okay. Then I give them a little more to see okay. Then I become too familiar with them. Then they joke about it. Then I pull all the way back. Are you qualified, go back a slide for me, Leslie, to help, handle, heal? I'm going to say something that I really need everybody listening to your pastor to understand and grasp, and I pray you can have the maturity to hear my heart when I say this. I want you to grow to a place where you can tell somebody, that's too much for me. That's too much for me. I gotta, guess what, so-and-so's, I'm so sorry. That's too much for me. I'm gonna be very clear with you. I'm almost about to laugh. I'm not like, no, I ain't on that level to be that mature right now. And what, like, I'm gonna be honest, if you keep talking, when I look at them next time, I'm like, Mike texts him, oh, you dirty. Be honest. I wish you knew how many conversations I stopped mid-sentence and said, hey, do me a favor, I love you. You need a real counselor. I'm just a pastor. I mean, I don't consider myself a counselor. I can give you spiritual advice, but what you're dealing with, I'm gonna pray, go to a professional. I had somebody leave my church over that before. Well, you can't possibly be my pastor. And I said, do me a favor. If you break your leg, bring it to me. Why would I bring it to you? Exactly. So you want me to lay hands on your broken, I'm gonna pray for your leg, but at a certain point go see it what? No, not a doctor or orthopedist, because I need a doctor who specializes. Did you catch that? No, I might need to go to a family counselor, marriage counselor, grief recovery counselor. Did you catch that? So hear me when I say this is so good. Am I helping anybody? Clap for me then if I'm helping you. I got to go to somebody who can handle, help, and heal. Handle, help, and heal. They might not always have on a clergy collar. They might not always speak at the tone you like. But I do believe there has to be some sort of confirmation from God that this is my safe place. Because the worst thing you can do in life, Jesus, is lay your pain in the hands of a person who can't handle it. Why would I buy my 15-year-old son, when he turns 16, a G-Wagon? He ain't old enough. He don't understand the worth of it. He can't drive good enough. If I give him that, it's because that's something I wanted him to have. If he tear it up, I can't get mad. I place something valuable in the hands of somebody who wasn't ready. Michael. Let's go. Number one, we don't talk. That's rich. We don't talk. We don't talk. Number two, you ready? We don't feel. Ooh. Look at what he says. First he says, be quiet for now. But then look at the next phrase. Don't take this to heart either. Don't take it to heart. Absalom tells his sister to fight her feelings. No, see, I'm at a point, and I mean this, I welcome people disagreeing with me. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. It's certain things, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like aren't disagreeable. Like that's inner, but at the same time, I still wanna make sure I'm doing my best so you can share it. Now let me free somebody. This is so rich, and life has taught me this. Just because you share it, you are not now in control of how they receive it. Like I can't look at you and say, I don't like your hair. And then when you look back at me and say, but I do, now I'm offended because you like your hair. No, so you wanna know what happened? You know what happened? So because many of us have been shut down, now you don't feel. You know what the problem is? You don't know you don't feel. That's crazy, ain't it? All right, so let me free somebody. I had surgery in my knee, right? It's a certain part of my knee that if I scratch, I barely can feel it. I can feel it, but I barely. So every now and then, Miles, I should have never told him, he'll just walk up and just touch a random part of my leg. So ask me what I do now. I'd be like, Miles, what are you doing? I touch your leg, you can't feel it. You can't feel it. So I've been playing this game with him, right? I've been playing this game with him until I mess around and watch Talladega Nights. Ricky Bobby gets into an accident. He looks at him and says, man, I'm paralyzed. They say, the doctor said there's nothing wrong with your legs, it's all in your head. He said, I'm telling you, man, I'll never walk again. He says, no, the doctor says your legs are fine, it's mental. He takes a knife, stabs his legs, screams. The mental blockage he had was so real. He convinced himself it was broken. So I want to ask you a question. Who watching me today is numb? Let's define numb. When you become insensitive. We find ways to numb the pain but never fix the problem. Jesus. I'm insensitive. I don't feel it. So they pouring their heart out crying. I just don't feel it no more. I didn't even know I didn't feel it. I just stopped caring. And I convinced myself I didn't need nobody, so I would never hurt. So the fact is I'm really insecure, but I've now taken on so much pride that it's shifted to arrogance, and I've convinced myself that my arrogance is actually confidence. So now when I walk with my head held high, I think I'm being confident, but I'm really being arrogant because I'm masking the fact that I don't even feel the insecurity. I don't even feel it. I don't even feel it. Says don't take this to heart. So I get high just not to feel. So I convince myself now, if I don't blow one, if I don't smoke one, my anxiety, I need this to kind of keep me level. I gotta stay level. I gotta stay level. I'm gonna just give me something to drink to kind of just keep me level. Level. You know what? It ain't even that deep to me, no. It ain't even no deep to me. Men been doing it for years, sleeping with, so you know what I'm doing? If I want him, I'm gonna get him. I don't play that game. No, I know who I am. I'm a strong. So you equate now being a strong woman to the ability of you to have intercourse and not be attached. So now you walk in disassociation because you were really hurt, but you never dealt with being hurt. So now you're numb to the hurt, and you think because I can get up and leave and don't feel. Y'all don't want to talk real. Y'all don't want to talk real. So you know what? You want to know what? I'm going to go to church and I'm going to go home. Because my old church hurt me. Or somebody at this church hurt me and I never dealt with it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm numb to it. So I now convince myself, see, I don't do church, man. I go to church, get my word, I go home. Forget God called you to ministry. Forget the fact he said, go ye therefore into nations, baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. I called you to be evangelists. I called you to be ministers. I called you to do so and so, so. But what, I'm so numb now, I convince myself I'm doing the right thing even though I know it's wrong. Numb. Numb. Or you're dumb. Either you're numb or you're dumb. What's dumb? We become unintelligent. We have feelings but don't know how to process them. So either you don't feel it and you don't even know it's hurting, or you feel it and don't even know how to process it. Lord help me, I might be numb and dumb. Look at somebody say, you preaching to me now. I think I'm numb and dumb, bro. I don't know if I feel it or want to do something about it. This is good teaching right here. This is good teaching right here. That's what many of us are doing right now. We are fighting our feelings. I want to free you. I want to free you. This is so good. I want to free you. I want to free you. Just go ahead and admit you love them. Just go ahead and admit it. Pastor Mike, I love them. No, I ain't supposed to love them, but I love them. And I keep trying to convince myself I don't, but the truth is, I love him. Now go cry. Can I free? I'm just being perfectly honest with you. Lie to them. Don't lie to you. Pastor Mike, I don't think I'm good enough. To be honest with you, I don't. I done tried. I don't believe in me. I was writing this on the other day, and I put a line in it. I was like, truth is, I never really believed in me. I believed in your belief in me. I never really thought I was good enough. I'm being honest with you. My daddy, my whole life been telling me, Mike, you different. My whole life. I'm 19. He walking to me in events. When you get up there, I want you to speak like this and kill him. You're different. And I'm up there, my dad, no, you're different. Trust me, Mike, you're different. At my whole life, you different. I get ready to do music. Oh, you're gonna go straight to the top. You different. I'm like, Dad, it don't work. Like, trust me. So I don't even know if I ever really believed in me. I hold fast to his belief in me. This is why group, and we're gonna talk about that later, is so important. So hear me when I say this. This is good. This is good. He subconsciously is saying that when life is difficult, don't deal with it, detach from it. Detach from it. And you want to know something else? And I know I'm going long, but I feel like I don't want to part one, part two this one. Binge watch this one. Okay? This is a movie. This ain't 1, 2, 3. This is a movie. Okay? Let me free you. And you know the worst thing we do when we become numb and dumb, Darius? This is the worst thing we do when we become numb and dumb. Here's the worst thing we do. We create standards or pillars in our heart. I want to make this make sense. Okay, you ready for this? All right. Hey, I'm so sorry. I don't know how I'm gonna pay my bills this week. It's rough for me. Well, I ain't really got it. It's cool. Hey, if y'all don't mind, somebody come through for me. When you gonna give it back to me? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know, because I don't like helping people. You know what? I ain't gonna ever in my life need nobody else. So now you have built the foundation of your grind on pain. I will never again, watch this, feel that. Never again. Never again. No, never again. Instead of just, watch this, confront it. Hey, what's up? I'm so sorry. I really expected you to come through for me. You didn't. What? Can I be honest with you? What? You know, my power was off when you called me. I make this look good, but I ain't have none either. Really? Now you sitting here like, oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I make this look good, but I ain't have nothing either. I should have just said that, but I was embarrassed. Now y'all been beefing for 6 months and don't realize had the same pain. Same pain. The same pain. So instead of us having feelings, feelings have us. Put this in your notes, it's not on the screen. Feelings are great servants, but terrible masters. Oh my God, this is rich. Feelings are great servants, but terrible masters. Show me a person who is mastered by their feelings. I'll show you a person who's a slave to emotion. Now I can only preach when I feel happy. I only want to go to work when I feel appreciated. I only want to love you when I feel loved. It's crazy, ain't it? So since you didn't make me feel good, I won't talk to you for 2 days. So you know what I'm gonna do now? When I go home, I'm not gonna give you sex because you didn't make me feel good. So now he's laying in bed feeling unwanted and like a little boy because he having to beg you to make love to him because he told you you couldn't buy some when you know ain't neither one of y'all got no money. So now you gonna lay there in your feelings. He gonna lay there rejected. On top of that, now you gonna speak out of pain to him. Then when he go left, blame him when you might have kick-started it. Oh, we don't want to talk about that. That doesn't justify what he did. But if we gonna scream ouch, you gotta take responsibility for the part you. Am I preaching to anybody? So all she hear from you is what you ain't. You ain't this, you ain't that, you done gained weight. So now she's walking around with hurt feelings. Hurt feelings morph into insecurities. Insecurity morphs into gaps. Gaps create distance. The enemy dwells in the gaps. It was the distance between Adam and Eve that gave that snake the boldness to confront her. Jesus Christ. Close the distance, you kill the enemy. Feed the distance, y'all kill each other. Number 3, we don't confront. And when I say confront, I am not talking about, no, I got to talk to you. No, that's ghetto foolishness. We're not playing that. We're not playing that. All of us ain't saying, you come that aggressive, be prepared. Be prepared. Be prepared. Be prepared. I want to be very clear. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes how you confront gives off an energy that kills the healing before it starts. Yeah. There's a difference in saying you did and did you. That just changed the whole game. No, you did. No, you accusing me or you asking me? No, when King David heard all this, 2 Samuel, he was furious. And Absalom never said a word to Amnon, either good or bad. He hated Amnon because he had disgraced his sister Tamar. 2 years later, when Absalom's sheep shearers were at Baal-Hazor near the border of Ephraim, he invited all the king's sons to come there. Look at this, verse 21. When King David heard all this, he was furious. Absalom, mad at his brother, and don't ever say nothing to him. I just told my brother that in the back. I said, people finna be real uncomfortable around me now. I'm done tiptoeing in my house. You feel away, you feel away. Let's talk about it. You wanna talk about it? Get out. At a certain level, we're not gonna play that game no more. Passive aggressive, microaggression, attitude, subtle disrespect. No, we're not playing that no more. You got me? Some of us have catered cancers that it's time to kill. No, Mike walked up the steps the other day. He got mad because ladies, she runs that house like a tight ship. And on certain days, they have certain stuff they have to do. I don't care what's going on. If you ain't did it, she's teaching them discipline. And he slammed the door. I jumped out the bed quick. Hit them steps, 425. Up them steps, busted up. Hey, wait, did you slam the door? No, it's the book bag on the door. The book bag made the door close. That boy got real scientific. You wanna know why he slammed the door though? Because I nurtured it. So when he would get mad, he would walk up the steps. Mike got heavy feet. So it'd be these stomps. I would, I would joke. I was nursing it, nurturing it. It's almost like when you tell your children to stop doing something and you let it slide, then they embarrass you in front of folk, now you want to kill them. No, you should have stopped that. Or confronted it. That's critical. 2 years go by, David says nothing. In fact, when we read through the scripture, at no point does he ever confront Amnon. Scripture says David felt anger but never took action. What are you feeling that you're too unhealthy to fix? I'm gonna go fast. Here's what's crazy. He was bold enough to face Goliath, but not strong enough to face his brother. That's critical. Goliath could have killed him. That shows us that we sometimes have more boldness for the physical altercation than the emotional. I'm gonna say this, and some of y'all ain't said amen in 10 years. Here it comes. I don't mind fighting. You like you'll fight a couple, who'll throw hands? I don't mind fighting. Now I can take the same person who don't mind fighting, sit you in a room and say, now tell me what happened at 17. No, I don't want to talk about it. Because, ouch, I can heal from the bruise. It be that emotional stuff. Michael, I gotta stop. You cannot miss what I'm about to say. Absalom's name means, put this in your notes, he's the one who raped, Father of Peace. Absalom's name means Father of Peace, but he isn't living up to his name. He forced his traumatized, abused sister into silence. I'm sorry, he's not the one who raped, but he forces his sister into silence, killed his brother, tried to overthrow his father. His whole life is antithetical to his name. Jesus. Purpose is an answer to a problem. Please write this for your pastor. Purpose is an answer to a problem. But when you're born into a dysfunctional family, you become a problem to your purpose. So let me free you real quickly. That means I now have to heal. Let me free. Most of all of us was born into dysfunction. Can we be real? Can we be real? Can we be real? We had great-grandparents who couldn't even drink out of water fountain. We had grandparents who probably couldn't drink out of water fountain. My granddaddy couldn't even eat at a table. He was the first black man to sit at the Woolworth counter here and was beaten through segregation. So really think about this. My granddaddy, who's still alive, couldn't even eat at a certain restaurant. My mama got the privilege to eat at the restaurant, but when she walked in, she was still terrified. Now I walk in any restaurant like I own it. I reap everything. I sow nothing. So hear me when I say this. Some of you are mad at your parents when they did the best they knew to do. The best they knew to do. And hear me when I say this from the depths of my heart, Rod. This is so critical. I want to give you a couple things. Number one, don't downplay what we should be dealing with. That's why I say don't compare pain. Don't compare pain. Don't do that. What you crying over that? Do you know what I had to deal with? No, don't do that. Don't do that. I saw a lady had to get a whole family out of a house on fire. Whole family. Burns on her, her babies everywhere. I'm pretty sure she looked at some of the stuff you was fussing at, she got a right to say, what you crying over again? Your air didn't work? But we don't compare pain. I got one sister who had to bury her sons. Literally, I had to watch her stand right there and just cry herself this, like, Pastor, then here you come now saying, I don't even want to deal with her. She would, in a heartbeat, mama, trade everything for one more dinner. Just one more. Pastor Mike, it ain't got to be like just one more. I just want to cook one more time and hear him running that house. We're not going to compare pains. But what I'm telling you is, number one, don't downplay what you should be dealing with. Number two, don't allow your feelings to become numb or dumb. I'm a free you. Can I free somebody? I'm just free. Your pastor is on the verge of being numb. That's why this sermon's helping me more than it's helping you. At a certain point, you just get tired. You get tired of doing the impossible for the ungrateful. I'll be honest with you. Hear me, I'm being very transparent. I am not, what do they call, exempt from pain because I preach. Neither are you, because you may have a better job or some money or a good family or a good husband, a good wife. Look at me with all the word I got. I have moments where I say, you know what, I don't even care no more. I don't even care no more. My answer for the last 3 weeks been this: I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I'm tired. You know what I gotta say? Lord, this is so heavy, and I deal with this some more Sunday. You gotta be able to pinpoint your pain. This Sunday gonna be crazy, right? This Sunday gonna be crazy because I'm gonna pull somebody out the crowd. I'm gonna pull somebody out the crowd and I'm gonna have a pinata, right? I'm gonna have a pinata and I'm gonna blindfold them. And I'm gonna let them swing at the